So I already did my skincare and I'm primed and everything. First thing I'm gonna do is spot conceal, and I'm using this Ruby Kisses concealer to spot conceal. I don't know what's going on with my skin. It was doing so well, and then all of a sudden I started getting a lot of breakouts and around my chin and the sides of my face. I'm thinking it's the mask that we're still wearing, but my face is just doing its own thing. And then I recently tried this Mayo like the rosemary mint, what is it called, hair serum the other night, and I put it in my hair. I think I accidentally like touched my face, and then right in this area right here where I'm concealing, I got an allergic reaction. My face started burning, and then when I ran to look at it, it was like bumps everywhere. So you'll see on the side of my face like this irritated area. So yeah, my skin's going through it, but I'm spot concealing, and then I will go ahead and blend it out. And it's something that I notice is like when I do my makeup every day, it comes out so pretty, and like the minute I sit down and want to film, like I can't find anything. It just doesn't come out right. That's not the brush that I wanted to use, but that's what I had. And yeah, it's just, I'm going through it. But just watch to the end so you can see the end result, because it turned out cute. But I'm just going to go ahead and finish blending out the concealer to try to cover some of those dark marks. Now I'm going in with the Kiss Natural Finish Foundation. And yes, it looks light. It's not necessarily my shade, but I made it work. It's in the shade 330 Golden Caramel. I probably need a darker one, but I know sometimes when I go more tan, sometimes it comes off really red and orange. So I'm trying to stay in the golden neutral side and just kind of bronze. That's what I'm doing for 2023, because sometimes it can come off red and orange on me. And I'm using a new set of brushes I got in my BoxyCharm, and I think it's from LaRue. I'll have it linked down below. I'm using those brushes today, and they were really soft, so I'm pleased with those. And I realized that I had not did my brows yet, and I normally do my brows first. So I went ahead and filled in my brows off camera, and now I'm going to carve them out and clean them up with the Too Faced concealer. And that's another thing that seems to go haywire when I film. I do my brows every day and they turn out really cute, and then the minute I try to sit down and film my brows, they turn out like trash. So yeah, I just knew I wasn't going to overdo it, because it's time for my brows to be cleaned up. I need to like arch them and clean up the hairs that have grown out. So my brows are really big and bushy right now, but it is what it is. So now that my brows are done, I'm going to go ahead and conceal my under eyes, my forehead, my nose, my chin, just those normal areas, just to brighten it up and kind of cancel out some darkness that I have underneath my eyes and everything. And I'm using that more flesh tone concealer. Instead of going in with a super bright concealer, I go in with a more skin tone concealer, and then I go on top of it normally with a lighter concealer just to highlight. But I'm not going to do that today, because this spring look is going to be very natural and simple, something that you can wear every day. So I'm not going to do the super bright under eye and everything like that. It's just going to be a more basic look where, you know, your skin looks one color, not too heavy. And I'm blending everything out with a sponge. I mean, y'all, I couldn't find half the stuff that I needed. So this is a struggle tutorial at the same time, because a lot of the things that I needed and I wanted to use and I planned on using, I completely forgot to get them. It's just my brain goes blank when it's time for me to film. And I was listening to music to try to get myself in a better vibe because I tend to overthink my tutorials and it just looks weird. And I'm using the Cab Cosmetics translucent powder and a powder puff to go ahead and set underneath my eyes and everywhere I put the concealer. Now that everything is basically set, we'll move on to the next part of the video. But I've been absolutely loving these powder puffs. They went viral last year and they're like a staple now, just like the beauty sponge. Like, I don't like using powder anymore without using my sponge. So we're gonna bronze, and once again, this bronzer came off very warm. I've noticed a lot of my bronzers are very warm, red toned bronzers, but this bronzer brush, this angled brush, not necessarily a bronzer brush, it's angled, but I used it for bronzer and I love the way that it turned out. But I did want a chiseled look, but like a natural, like warmth, I guess you can say, because it's a spring look. So, you know, spring is warm. Some days it's cold, but I just wanted it to look kind of warm, I guess you can say. And I'm gonna go ahead and highlight with the highlight that is there. I have been highlighting a lot lately since the year started, but hey, we all love a good glow. And I like that highlighter. It's not too much, it's just right. It's really pretty. And I realized that I forgot to set my brows, so I'm just using the Tristique brow little duo that I got in a BoxyCharm, and I'm using a brow gel to set my brows. I'm trying to think, what was I listening to? I think I was listening to Beyonce. More than likely, it was either Beyonce or Nicki Minaj. I can't remember. But so far, everything is starting to look pretty good. I'm going to use a blush. And for a spring look, of course, you want really like pinky, corally like blush on your cheeks. And this is like a dual fiber, like a stippling brush. I just used it for blush. And it didn't really pick up a lot. Like, I had to dip into the blush a lot for it to get some payoff. And that's a pigmented blush, so I knew it wasn't the actual blush. It was the brush that wasn't picking up enough product, but I kind of got it to where I wanted it to be. Not too heavy, but just like a nice little flush. And I'll have everything that I'm using linked down below. Now I'm zooming you all in because we're about to start on the eyes. And I'm sorry if you hear the thunder in the background. I literally decided to do the voiceover in a storm. But this is the Ruby Kisses Jade palette, and it is a perfect spring palette with those greens and those pinks, and it's really soft. So I decided to go ahead and use that palette. I'm going to actually do another spring look with a different palette. But we're going to go with that first shade. It's a kind of a light peachy shade. And I'm going to put that in my crease. And I will say, it wasn't as pigmented, so I had to try to build it up as much as I could. I knew it wasn't going to be that pigmented because it was pretty light for my skin tone, but it kind of set the eye. But I mean, it was pretty. And I wanted this to be like a really natural, simple, natural look. Nothing too much. Something that you can wear to work or wherever it is you need to go. Now I'm going to deepen it up with this next shade, and I'm going to go in the crease as well. Just basically over the same place that I put that first shade, but a little closer to my crease and my lid, and try to kind of bring a little bit more color. Because that first shade wasn't as pigmented as I thought it would have been. I thought it would have been more peachy, but it wasn't. And so I'm just going to put that same shade everywhere on my lid. So the crease to the lid. And it'll give you that little peachy, pretty spring. I'm wetting my brush, and I'm going to go into the shimmer shade, that green one. And y'all, I told you, I tend to do weird things when I film. I thought this would have been a little bit brighter. And see how dark it is. So I was just like, okay, that's not the look that I was going for. So I actually dipped into a gold shimmer shade and topped it on top of that just to make it a little bit more bright and shiny. And this is what we came up with. And yeah, it wasn't what I was thinking, but I'm going to try and save this look. So I'm going to use a brown liner in my waterline. This is from Galactic, and it's really pigmented, so it makes the brown eyes pop, because this spring look is ideal for, these colors are ideal for like brown eyes. I have brown eyes, so it makes the brown eyes pop. And I'm using some mascara from Kiss to coat my lashes. And the plan was to do cluster lashes to give a natural like lash extension effect, but I struggled. So yeah, we end up doing just regular strip lashes. And I end up switching over to my phone because my memory card was full, and so I had to eventually switch over to my phone. So now I'm filming the rest on my phone, and I'm just applying the lashes. I couldn't find the lash glue that I needed, so I used some other lash glue. And y'all, it was a struggle, but we finished out the tutorial, and it turned out pretty good. The end result is really cute, and it's something that I would wear. These lashes are a little bit more dramatic than I wanted. I wanted a more natural looking lash. That's why I'm just going to do a couple of clusters on the edge with my natural lash, and it would have been real simple and cute. But this kind of pulled a little glam into it, and we're going to finish it off with some lip gloss. And this is the Ruby Kisses Gloss Bomb, and I'll have the shade and everything linked below. But I hope that you all enjoyed this tutorial. This is my first tutorial of 2023. And what better way than to kick it off with this spring, simple spring, cute look. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, and make sure you check out all the products down in the description box. And I will see you guys in my next one. Deuces.